horror film, but yeah, horror films I just don't understand. Like, people are like, dude, let's go to the theaters. I said, let's go watch a horror film.
I want to just be, yeah,
for fun, let's go. It's like, what? That's not, like, this shit is actually not fun.
No, yeah, I don't know. No.
It's not fun.
No. And then you gotta worry about if you're gonna have a nightmare when you go to sleep.
Oh my god, and they're like, oh my god.
No.
So it's really not. And then all the ones that are based on a true story, don't even get me started. Alright, you ready?
Let's get it yapping.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Heavily Contested Podcast, the podcast where
we get to talk about the best trade ever made in NFL history, bro. They already know what we're about to talk about.
NFL?
NBA history? But they already know what we're about to talk about, right?
I think
that you have to know what we're going to talk about.
It's pretty obvious.
So, let me just take you through what happened through my day.
Go ahead.
So, I'm sitting at home, I'm like, you know what? Let me turn on the TV. And I was like, oh, it's the NBA draft today. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Then we find out Buddy Hield might be traded to the Lakers. That was cute. That was cute.
It would have been a cool trade.
That would have been nice, you know? And then more news came out.
Oh, man.
Big Brody. Russell Westbrook coming over to the Lakers. He coming back to his hometown. We got rid of Kyle Kuzma, Chris Middleton, KCP,
and Montrezl Harrell.
And the number 22 pick, which we didn't want anyways. So it's perfectly fine. I don't know why they gave us a 2024 second.
Yeah, so the full draft details are Russell Westbrook, a 2024 second round pick, and a 2028 second round pick. And this is all for Kyle Kuzma, KCP, Montrezl Harrell, and the number 2 overall pick, which was ended up using to get Isaiah Jackson, which they ended up trading Isaiah Jackson for Aaron Holiday, which is Drew Holiday's brother. So that got moved around a lot.
So that was a terrible trade, I think. For that 22 pick, they did nothing with that for me.
Well, basically, okay, Aaron Holiday, we know he's a brother of Drew.
That's the reason why.
And potential, I guess. So that's probably why they went with that. But again, I guess you could say the obvious winner is obviously the Lakers.
Yeah, so if we're being honest, I'll speak for the Lakers fans. Kyle Kuzma, you was going to be gone no matter what. So we're not really tripping about Kyle Kuzma. The one that hurts is KCP because he was our third star for a little bit, for most of the season, actually. Harrell he stopped playing mostly in the playoffs, so he wasn't that important. But KCP and Kyle Kuzma, they are 3-point shooters, and everybody knows we can't shoot no more. So, but the offseason isn't over. We're going to make some moves. They're talking about Carmelo Anthony. I don't think we'll be able to get Buddy Hield anymore.
No.
But there's a possibility with J.J. Redick, a bunch of other players. And I think that LeBron, you know who LeBron is. LeBron going to make it work.
No, and now that the Lakers probably got the attention of everyone in the league, there's going to be people who want to go see this as an opportunity to get that ring that they so desire.
Like DeMar DeRozan might come.
I don't think he will. Kyle Lowry, damn, you're gonna get the whole NBA.
We getting everybody coming.
Okay,
wouldn't you want to go to the Lakers?
After they got Russell Westbrook, Kyle Lowry is out of the question.
He might just want to be on the bench.
And I think DeRozan's out of the question too. I've heard the rumors that DeRozan might be thinking about the Mavericks and other teams like that. And then you got to think about the money as well. But we'll see what happens. Maybe DeRozan's willing to take a pay cut to go with the Lakers. But either way, I think the Lakers did easily win this trade. Although I don't think the Wizards completely lost either.
No, they didn't, because Kyle Kuzma has some potential.
Well, we saw what Kyle Kuzma did back in his rookie
2019.
His rookie year and the times before LeBron James really came in.
Yeah.
He was considered the best pick, even over Lonzo Ball and everything like that. And he was looking like he showed a lot of star potential. So let's see, now on a team on the Wizards, can he get a little... Because we saw what happened
with Brandon Ingram.
Well, I said that twice, but we saw what happened when Kyle Kuzma kind of took a step back because LeBron came in, right? Mm-hmm. And it felt like the same thing that I saw with Paul George taking a step back, with Kawhi Leonard taking the forefront. Mm-hmm. It's hard for a guy who's usually the more ball dominant type guy to take a step back and still be in rhythm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because Kyle Kuzma was that guy who give me the ball and let him get in rhythm shooting wise. Yeah. but he had to take a backseat and kind of go into a role player.
And that's where he became a terrible role player.
Yeah, and it didn't work for him. And it was so, let's see, now that he's going to be, maybe probably have a little more of a role now as like a number 2 guy to be with Bradley Beal.
Let's just say this off rip, guys. The Wizards are terrible. Do not go watch the Wizards because you're not going to be entertained at all. I'm sorry. Bradley Beal, you're a great player, but besides that, why would you watch the Wizards?
And the rumor is that Bradley Beal just wants to stick with the Wizards, which is...
So he's one of those money-hungry people that just wants
money-hungry or either foolishly loyal.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
No, I'm sorry. If I was Bradley Beal, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
And if I'm the Wizards, I'd almost trade him because it seems like you're already in a rebuild stance already.
That's
and
just disrespectful. Isn't he about to be 32?
Something.
Or he already is 30.
So right now, if I'm the Wizards, I'm thinking full-on rebuild mode, Yeah,
but no one, Washington is just not a place to go.
No.
You're not going to sign anybody, so you might as well just do your best in the draft. So.
Good luck. Okay, now more about the Westbrook trade. How do you think this shapes the NBA?
Okay, so this is what I think. So now the Lakers were a big 2. Everybody else in the league is kind of a big 3.
Mm-hmm.
Some teams even, I think, eventually will have big 4s eventually. But now the Lakers have a big 3. They have 3 of the most exciting players to watch. Russell Westbrook is just triple-double every game. Mm-hmm. LeBron is, the best player you've ever seen in your life. And Anthony Davis is amazing when he's on the court.
Yeah.
But the only thing I will say is the triple-doubles are going to be an issue. I don't know. Somebody's not getting the triple-double. I don't know who's not.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
But there's no way LeBron and Russell Westbrook are getting triple-doubles and AD is going to get 12 rebounds a game. That's not going to happen.
I get you.
So I don't know what's going to happen there. But
how do you think they fare up against the Nets?
The Nets, it's easy sweep. It's an easy sweep.
You serious?
I'm dead serious.
Oh, okay. Well,
Russell Westbrook, who do you want him to take? James Harden, Kyrie? I don't think he's taking KD, but either one of them, they gone. Then LeBron, I think he just lock up KD for the one time. Keep him to
Okay. Oh, okay, so I'll go with my standpoint. Honestly, I think people are really trying to emphasize, this team's not going to have a 3-point shot anymore. They're not going to... they lost a trade. Russell Westbrook's going to turn out to be a bad fit with LeBron James. I don't think so. I don't think so. First of all, I think a 3-point game is overrated in a little bit of a stance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The last 2 champions, the Lakers and the Bucks, won by bully ball and being the bigger team overall. Mm-hmm. And they weren't great 3-point shooters, but they can do it. They can now and then. They're the guys that you leave open, they can shoot. But in the end, they won by bully ball, by being bigger than the other team. And so people are trying to overemphasize not having a 3-point shot as this is going to be the end all be all.
Say stuff just to say stuff.
Of course,
so you could just be mad at the Lakers.
Of course, though, in the moments who needs to take a 3-point shot, it could be a little interesting, right? But in the end, I think they're just gonna be too good of a team in the inside that they can't be stopped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so people are emphasizing a 3-point line, having to have a 3-point shot. It's not super important. The last 2 teams that just won a championship showed that.
And also, don't forget, LeBron is a great 3-point shooter, man.
Yeah, and he's good.
He can be great when he wants to.
Yes. And go ahead.
And I also feel like Russell Westbrook, LeBron gonna be like, hey Russell, you're gonna have to learn how to shoot. So he's gonna have to boost up his 3-point percentage. I think he shoots around 30. I project him he'll be around 35 next year because he has to kind of change his game a little bit in order for this to work.
So here's what I think is I don't think Westbrook's going to change his game. I think LeBron is. And I think because of the fact that LeBron's a guy who could probably easily adapt more in the NBA than Russell Westbrook. Because the question is who's going to be the ball handler now? LeBron James takes it down the court all the time.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook is a ball dominant point guard. With the way he runs the floor, especially in fast break and transition, which it should be fun to watch this team in transition. That's going to be amazing. The lobs.
Both of them could throw lobs to each other.
Yes. So that's going to be fun to watch. But I think LeBron he's a smart enough player, and he's He's a guy who can adapt in this league. So I think he's gonna let Westbrook do his thing, and then he'll feed off of him.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
I think it is gonna make the league a lot more exciting. But I think this trade is a lot better than people are trying to make it seem.
Yeah.
Because I think they are gonna fit. LeBron's a guy that can fit with a lot of people. It's not like they're gonna have this ego. LeBron doesn't have an ego. LeBron is the type. He's the one who told the Cavs coach. He told Tyronn Lue to let Kyrie take the game-winning shot. You know, LeBron. As people try to make it seem like he's a selfish player, he's not. LeBron is actually a pretty selfless player, and
he wants
to
see talking about him, bro. Keep going, man.
And he wants to see other people shine. So I think LeBron again could be a fit with anybody. So I think this trade's going to work out for them. I think it's pretty cut and clear.
Yeah,
right?
I just we're gonna win the championship, but we already knew that before Russell Westbrook got traded. So.
I definitely think this puts them as my favorites, but I wouldn't have said that without Westbrook.
Nah, I would have said it without Westbrook.
Of course you would have. Of course you would have. Now, let's go into our draft winners.
There goes a pen.
So for our draft winners, we're just gonna go over just one draft winner and one draft loser. If you want to start off.
Well, for my biggest winner, I'll start off with the winner first. I think I went with the Houston Rockets. Now, this is the biggest reason for it. So they lost James Harden.
Yep.
They lost DeMarcus Cousins. I feel like they might get rid of John Wall too. But they got two players. The biggest thing for me is with teams, it's not always about who's the most talented. What you seen with LaMelo Ball is we didn't know if he was going to be amazing talented, but people watched because it's LaMelo Ball. Okay. Now, in the Houston Rockets, they got two of the most hyped up high school basketball players that were around in the draft.
Yeah.
So this is Jalen Green and Josh Christopher. And you seen Jalen Green's Instagram? You see how many girls he be pulling? So I'm just trying to tell all the girls in Houston gonna be at the games, and Josh Christopher is amazing, like hype up player. So I feel like they're gonna get a lot more traction, and more people are gonna want to watch, being that they just lost the best player that they've had ever, maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely no. Well, they got Hakeem Olajuwon.
Oh yeah, okay, my bad.
Rockets history is
but
definitely,
one of the best players they've ever had. So
yes, definitely.
That's a big thing that they need. Now, for my biggest loser, I went with the San Antonio Spurs, because for me, I was looking at who they drafted. I don't even know who that is. I don't even know who that is. They're probably gonna lose DeMar DeRozan. I think that, in my opinion, if they're gonna rebuild, they didn't do a good job because they're not getting high draft picks.
Yeah,
and it's just
to comment on the Spurs, because I was considering them too, so I did my look into it. That the guy that they picked, number 13 overall, was someone who was projected to go into the later round or second round.
Yeah,
so again,
I didn't even know who that was.
So they're taking a risk by going with this guy so early. So now there's a lot of pressure now that they got to show why this guy was worth picking so early in the draft. For me, my draft winner is the Orlando Magic.
Okay, yeah.
I do like the move that the Magic made with Jalen Suggs, 5th overall, Jalen Suggs from Gonzaga, and then Franz Wagner from Michigan, 8th overall. So they had two high picks. And what I like about both of these guys is that they're going to be great defenders in this league. And what the Magic right now are forming now with Markelle Fultz coming off an injury,
Cole
Anthony, Jonathan Isaacs, it's going to be a strong young defensive core.
Yep.
You know, they're gonna have scrappy, fast defensive players.
Mo Bamba too.
Mo Bamba, who should probably only get better. I hope that he lives up to the hype that he's had. But because right now we only know you for the song.
Hopefully for the playtime.
Hopefully for the playtime. But they're building a strong young core. Those are two very good picks. They're solid offensively, but I like what they bring as a defensive unit.
Yeah.
Young, they're only going to continue to develop. So I think the Magic are starting to build a solid team. So over the years,
they're like one great player away from being a good team.
And I don't like the move that they made trading Vucevic.
That was dumb.
Because I think now if they had him with this roster,
they would be great.
They would be very good.
Yeah. Because
they've been like an 8 seed over the past 2 years. Now that you're adding more of a young core that are starting to develop more, I think the Magic are going to be... Watch out for the Magic this year. They're probably going to be... I think they're going to be a playoff team this year.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's definitely possible. My loser, the Sixers. it's not so much for their pick, which was Jaden Springer from Tennessee, but
I already know what you're about to say.
Ben Simmons is still on the team. Why is Ben Simmons still here?
I already knew you were about to say that.
Why is Ben Simmons still here at this moment? And, okay, people are starting to blow it out of proportion a little bit of how bad Ben Simmons is because he's not actually horrible.
He just let the media get to his
No,
head.
he did. He kind of just froze up there in the playoff series against the Hawks. Yeah. But he's not horrible. Again, you know what he brings to the game defensively. He's
Didn't
a great
he win Rookie of the Year? He did.
Won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
He hasn't won Defensive Player of the Year. I can't recall if he has.
He's been in the running.
But he's been in the running many times, and as deservingly so. He's been great as a defensive player and as a playmaker, too. He's been a great playmaker, a great passer. So he's not horrible. But they are asking way too much for this guy.
They said 4 first-round picks.
I know you saw the offer that they had for the Warriors. So they want, from the Warriors, what they wanted was Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman, Kelly Oubre, and their 7th overall pick for Ben Simmons.
No.
And I don't understand that offer because of the fact that you're asking, first of all, the Warriors, I'm so glad that they did not take that pick, or did not take that trade offer. But because Wiseman, I think, first of all, Wiseman is getting a little too much hate. Because I feel like the expectation, it's the same with the NFL, it's the same with the NBA now, is you're expecting players to be coming straight into the league.
No, that doesn't happen.
And it doesn't happen like that.
No, you have to give them time to develop.
You have to give them time to develop. And I know I'm going off to the other sport here, which is football, but Peyton Manning, for example, Peyton Manning in his 5th year set the record for most interceptions in a season. This is in his 5th season, actually. And Peyton Manning's considered an all-time great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It took time for Peyton Manning to develop into the quarterback that he is. And, of course, you may be wondering what happened to that interception record. Well, Jameis Winston blew that record out the water with his season. But either way, I digress. Either way, a lot of people are expecting players to come straight into the league as a top candidate, and they're expected to drop 20 points per game. But people have to remember too, James Wiseman was drafted as a project. We knew what we were getting with Wiseman. We knew that he only played about, I think, 2 or 3 actual college basketball games.
Wow.
I
didn't know that.
He's young. He's 19. I think probably going to be 20, if not 20 already. And he's meant to be a project. He's a guy he's a center that shows that he could shoot. He has good height. We expect that more time in the league. He's only going to get bigger, stronger as he starts training a little more at the NBA level. So we knew what we were getting with Wiseman. And so that's the thing you have to hold off on all these draft picks. They might not work out in the first season, but it doesn't mean that you just abandon them. Because there's reasons why guys like Brandon Ingram and Julius Randle began to show up after a team gave up on them pretty early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So definitely the 76ers, they need to make a big move fast.
Yeah.
Because if Ben Simmons is going to stay on your team, you are going to have a big issue with floor spacing. And Joel Embiid hasn't been increasingly better in the three-point line. So it's just not looking good right now. You guys need to make a move.
Mm-hmm. And my problem actually isn't more with the spacing, but it's more Ben Simmons wants out. So now you're going to get stuck in a situation where Ben Simmons doesn't even want to be there.
Yeah.
You don't know if he's even going to play.
And then you won't get anything in
you won't get anything in return. And the thing is the trade was the perfect chance to do it. You could have got an early pick.
Got a great
You could have got some. Sometimes
trust the process.
Trust the process. I get that you want to get a lot back for your player, but sometimes you have to compromise a little bit just so you can. Because right now, who knows what you get for Ben Simmons right now? Now it's after the draft and everything like that.
Well, I think I would give a first-round draft pick and maybe a second. That's about it for me.
And I'd give maybe a player. I might add a player. I'd be willing to add a player in there. Because here's the thing. Again, you never know. Ben Simmons is young.
Yeah.
So if I'm a team, I'm thinking I can work with this guy.
Make him better.
I can make him better. I can help him. And I expect Ben Simmons to be motivated, hopefully, a little bit. You know what I mean? But either way, I think the Sixers messed up a little bit. Now they're kind of stuck in a situation where it's like, we don't know what we're going to get for Ben Simmons now. It's going to be very, very tough. Either way, the Sixers couldn't do what the Wizards were able to do, with Russell Westbrook. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of our base summary of the NBA draft. The biggest thing was the Russell Westbrook trade, which I think can make the Lakers probably the top contender now. And then, of course...
Not probably.
And, of course, many teams building up some young stars. So, we're going to be switching to the NFL, but before that, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
The following ad is brought to you by our sponsor, MC Trev.
What's up, y'all? We had a great trade that went down, and I decided I'm going to make a rap about it. So, y'all ready? Let's go. Yeah. Let's go. What's up, y'all? I'm feeling good. Russell Westbrook going back to his hood. Now Lakers the best like I knew they would. Kyle Kuzma couldn't do it, but Westbrook could. Lakers the best, and you know that's true. We got the brand new Banana Boat crew. Everybody cook like some homemade stew. 22 champs, that's what we gon' do. Yeah.
And we're back. So, we're here now. We're going to go into the NFL season, which I believe the first preseason game might be next week. It's the Hall of Fame game.
Is it next week?
It's the Hall of Fame game. I know the Cowboys are going to be in it, I believe, with the Steelers. God, I hope I'm right with that one. Either way, it's going to be the Hall of Fame game next week. So, we're getting into the big point where now everyone's starting to give their predictions. Training camp has started. We're starting to see these young quarterbacks. First day in training camp and everything.
This is one of the most exciting seasons that I've seen so far because there's so many new players on different teams and there's new quarterbacks drafted as rookies, and we're gonna finally get to see how these players do with the actual offseason. Because last season the rookies, I just reconsider them as rookies this year as well because
they had a weird season.
It's not really fair to them to expect them to play great and to exceed to the expectations that they need to when they didn't even get to learn the plays right. They didn't get to build chemistry.
They didn't get to be in person.
Yeah,
a lot of the time. But credit to the rookies who did show up, guys like Justin Herbert, Chase Young.
Yeah,
so credit to those guys. But of course you gotta. So guys like Tua is one I'll say. People are so quick now. They thought the Dolphins were gonna trade away Tua immediately after 1 year. Again. I just don't understand why you feel so like
it's especially hard for a quarterback too.
But they're so urgent.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You need to be good now.
Now. You know, Tua just came off a hip injury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tua was coming off an injured year. He's a rookie. You know, so it's these expectations. And Tua showed promise. He showed many games where he showed up. The Cardinals game is one that I could mention, but. Just patience. You're drafting these guys for your future. You know, you gotta just be patient. You gotta help develop these guys. You can't just throw them into the fire sometimes and then, you know, it's this year or bust. You know what I mean? If you give them 1 year to show what they're all worth, then you're gonna get many situations where all of a sudden they're gonna be traded to another team and then you'll see them succeed.
Yeah.
And then you wonder what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. Okay, off of that point now, let's go into predictions. So, let's predict your playoff seeding. Okay. 1 through 7. It's obviously going to go over the division winners and everything like that. So.
Okay, so first off, I'm gonna let you know. I don't know. I just know who's in each one. I don't know like NFC East, NFC West. I just know. Okay, but we'll leave that alone. So, first of all, I'm gonna start out with the NFC. I see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers having an amazing season. I think that they're gonna.
There should be no argument.
Now,
with that.
This is what I think. They kept everybody. They're returning with everybody, and I don't think Tom Brady knows how to get worse. So I just don't see them getting any worse, and I think they'll be at the top. Yeah. They know how to play with each other, and yeah.
Yeah, there should be no argument.
So yeah, number 3. No, I would say number 4. So number 4, I got the Dallas Cowboys.
You're scaring me with that you're not mentioning number 2.
Okay, yeah, you'll see. So number 4, I got the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys,
Valid.
I think, will be the best team in the division. They're in a terrible division, but I think that they'll be the best team. They have Dak Prescott. He's coming off an injury. He just got paid, and I know he wants to have a redemption year.
Yes.
I know he wants to come in and show you guys, like, I'm worth the money.
Mm-hmm.
Even though a lot of people think I shouldn't have got that much. I think I should have got that much. So,
fair enough.
I think that he'll come out and play very well. Now, number 3, I got the Last Dance crew.
The Packers.
The Green Bay Packers. I think that Aaron Rodgers, whether he's going to retire after this year, whether he's going to go to another team. I know Devontae Adams, he might not want to play there anymore either. So I think they're both going to go out and show out and for their last season together and want to play amazing. The Packers have a great defense as well. So yes. I got them winning the division. That
leaves the NFC West at number 2.
The NFC West.
Give it to me, Travis. I know.
This is why I saved it for last. Because, I know you're a Niner fan. We got the Niner background and stuff.
Let's go. Give it to me. Come on.
I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals. Just listen. Kyler Murray, okay? Why you
Go ahead.
While he takes a little breather.
Kind of pick was that, man? What?
The Arizona Cardinals, I think that they have the best chance at being great. With Chandler Jones as one of the most amazing defensive ends or edge rushers that we have in the league. They have Budda Baker, who's shown many times that he could be great. And DeAndre Hopkins is arguably, for me, I think he's the best receiver in the league, but he's arguably the best in the league. And Kyler Murray's just going to get better and better every year. So I got to go with the Arizona Cardinals. Now, for my wild card, I do have the San Francisco 49ers. Okay. I do have the Niners making the playoffs, okay? So don't get too... But I also have the Los Angeles Rams, too. I think that you guys will have 3 people from your division make it into the playoffs.
Which makes sense.
You guys have the best division, arguably, in the league. So... Mm-hmm.
Apologies. I'm going to have to pause.
Yeah, we're going to have to get Lola.
And we're sorry about that. Had some outside difficulties. But either way, you were going on to the point of 3.
So yeah, the NFC West is definitely, if not, for me, I think they're the best division in the league. Like, there's the Rams, the Niners, the Cardinals, and your favorite, the Seahawks.
I was like, wait.
So I think that's just a great division. You guys don't know any year who's going to make it. But I honestly feel like the Russell Wilson, he's not going to have the best year this year. DK is kind of getting figured out. So I feel like they'll be the only team that doesn't make it. The only team I do think will make it is, the other team I think will make it is the Washington football team. The team with no logo. Ooh. The team with no mascot. I think that even though Ryan Fitzpatrick...
You got 2 people from the NFC East representing?
Yes. That sounds crazy, right? Mm-hmm. But their defense is amazing. If you really look at their D-line, Chase Young, Deron Payne, Montez Sweat.
Yeah.
Like, I think they have the best. I think they have the best defensive line in the league. Mm-hmm. And I don't see many teams being able to handle that pass rush. They drafted Jamin Davis, who I think is a very promising linebacker, very upcoming soon. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, I seen what he did against the Raiders. Tua was having a terrible game, and he just came in. So I think that he can handle...
a great veteran.
He can come in and do enough for them to win.
Okay.
I'll let you do your NFC, and then I'll...
I agree with you on a lot, but man, dude, I don't think the Cardinals are going to be as good as you're saying as like a number 2 seed. I
called it.
I think that's a little absurd. Either way, my number 1, I have the Packers again going as a number 1 seed. I do still think that they have one of the stronger rosters in football. And again, we have to remember too, Tampa Bay had a favorable run. In the end, they were still a wild card last year. I do expect them again to have some inconsistencies a little bit. But of course, I think they're going to win the division, obviously. But I don't expect them to be the number 1 seed. At number 2, to counter your Cardinals, the Cardinals are not the best team in the division. It's clearly the Rams. The Rams are the best team in this division. The best defense in the league with Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. First of all, those are like
notably the 2 best defensive players in the league.
And definitely the best at their position. So the defense is on another level. And then, of course, you have now their offense is only improved with Matthew Stafford.
For me, I just don't feel like their receivers and their weapons aren't good enough.
I would have to disagree. I really like Robert Woods, and I like Cooper Kupp. And now you got Deshaun Jackson, who's a deep threat. Deshaun Jackson's he sticks to what he's good at, which is being a guy to stretch the field. They have Van Jefferson, who really kind of improved there at the end of the season. Unfortunately, Cam Akers got hurt, which could be a big which could be a big hit in the run.
So you're saying that Matthew Stafford is a huge upgrade over Jared Goff?
Okay, let me say this. First of all, I'm not with one of those people who think Jared Goff is completely garbage. He's not. In the end, Jared Goff is a solid NFL quarterback.
I don't think he's that terrible.
No, he's not. People really like to hate on him, but he's not that awful. That being said, I don't think he's an incredible upgrade, but in the end, Matthew Stafford, what he brings as a veteran and arm talent-wise, it has to be said that he is an upgrade from Jared Goff. And I think that upgrade might just be enough. In the end, too, Cam Akers is a big loss, but if you're a contending team like the Rams, you should be able to have guys, and they still do. I believe Darrell Henderson's still coming, still in the lineup. So, they still have guys. Cam Akers is a big loss, but they still have guys, and they still have a solid O-line. So I don't think that's going to be a big of a hit. At number 3, I have the Bucks. You basically said everything perfect there about the Bucks. They're gonna run it back. I don't think they're gonna win it this year, but they're definitely gonna be a top team this year, of course. Great defense, great offense. Got all their guys who won the Super Bowl last year, so of course they have to be a team to watch out for. At number 4, I mentioned this last week, the New York Giants. I said that we're going to win the division. I'm going to stay true to that. I think the Giants, their defense last year was great. And now I think with the weapons that they picked up from the offseason and in the draft, I think their offense is just going to be, it's not going to be incredible, but it's going to be good enough. You know what I mean? That's why I have them at the 4 seed. Saquon Barkley coming back. Kenny Golladay is a big pickup. I do think the Giants are going to be a team that should be.
So you think the Giants are better than the Cowboys?
Yeah, I do. Number 5, I have the Niners.
That's the same place I have them.
Same place. So I don't think we see any disagreement there. I do think the Niners, healthy, are one of the better teams in football. I believe I'm expecting probably a mid to late season switch. I'm thinking more mid-season, to be honest. I'm thinking a mid-season switch with Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay.
I wouldn't be too surprised on that. And I think Trey Lance is going to be good. I think he's going to be solid. But I have the Niners up there because I think our defense is going to be good, again, if healthy. The only concern with the Niners really is health. And the only reason
the league in ACL.
And the only reason I don't have the Niners actually winning the division is because I just think the Rams are just too tough right now. They're like, I can't put them over. But don't be surprised, too, if the Niners do win the division if they're healthy. Because, again, it's going to be the same team that went to the Super Bowl in 2019. At number 6, I just switched this up right now in my head. I had the Seahawks there. But I put the Cowboys at 6. I like what you said about Dallas. And I do think Dallas at some point with the roster, the offense is
too amazing to not
talented.
Make it.
It's too talented, man. They got a great O-line. They got a solid O-line. 3 receivers who could all make a stake at being the number 1 receiver on a team. Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper.
Oh, you ain't got to say that name. I don't like hearing that.
Oh, soft spot for Trevis. And then CeeDee Lamb. It's 3 wide receivers that can all be number 1 wide receivers. You got Dak Prescott coming off an injury. Ezekiel Elliott, who I expect to have a bit of a bounce back season. Defensively, of course, there's some holes in that defense. Secondary, definitely. But again, it's too talented of a roster to at least not make the playoffs. It would be very disappointing if they don't. At number 7, again, this might come as a surprise because you expect me now moving Seattle down. You expect them to still be there. I don't have them there. I think there's only going to be 2 representatives for the NFC West. The only reason, I'm going to say this right now, is because it's so competitive that they're going to hurt each other.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I can see that.
Sometimes when a division is too good, you might only have 2 representatives from that division because they play each other 2 times every year. The Seahawks have to play the Rams twice. They have to play the Cardinals twice. They have to play the Niners twice. I think because of that, they're going to get hurt a little bit. And, of course, they have other opponents that they have to worry about. So I'm just thinking Seattle's not going to make it at all. I think the Vikings are. I think the Vikings...
Wait. Who's the Vikings quarterback?
Kirk Cousins.
Who?
Kirk Cousins. Again, I'm going to say this again.
This is another one of those players that is very controversial.
Controversial, but again, I don't think he's as bad as people say he is.
I think he's terrible.
See, then difference of opinion, but I think... You want to know what I think, Travis? I think you're just dead wrong. I just think you're dead wrong.
I'm dead wrong?
I almost cussed there. I'm sorry about that. I think you're dead wrong. Kirk Cousins is not this great quarterback, but he also can't be said he's awful. Because in the end, if you check the stats from the past few years, he's a very good statistical quarterback. And
Okay, really quickly.
And the defense really lost in the game last year.
Where is Kirk Cousins? Top 25, top 20, top 15?
I'd say top 15. I wouldn't put... I don't think there's 15 quarterbacks in this league that I'd put over Kirk Cousins. I think there's 10.
Maybe that'll be in another video, guys. But
as a quarterback ranking. But either way, Kirk Cousins is not as bad as people say. And I think the Vikings really... Here's the thing about the quarterback position, too. Is in the quarterback position, you're going to get blamed a lot for the losses, even though you shouldn't be.
You know that the best.
Yes.
You as a quarterback.
You're going to get blamed a lot for, moments or for the game that you really shouldn't take the blame for. And you're also going to get praise for a lot of moments that you shouldn't take praise for.
Mm-hmm.
You could have a horrible game as a quarterback, but if you lead a game-winning drive, people are going to call you the hero. You know what I mean? If you lose a game and it's, it's on other players, but you throw an interception, they're going to look at that one interception as the breaking point. You know what I mean? So for Kirk Cousins, that was pretty much a summary of his season. He got a lot of, backlash for the losses that they took, but it wasn't on Kirk Cousins. That defense was, for a Mike Zimmer defense, that was a really bad defense. So I think the Vikings, I see an improvement defensively. So that's why I have them at 7. Let's move to the AFC.
Okay, so for the AFC, at number 4, division leader, I got the Tennessee Titans. That's
same spot.
We all know Tennessee Titans. They just got the best receiver of our generation, and Julio Jones. Will he be as great as he has been? We don't know, but he will definitely be great. Still, we don't know if he'll be the amazing Julio Jones, but he'll definitely be one of the top receivers in the league. They still have Derrick Henry. We all know how great he is. So they're definitely going to win the division. Yes. Now, the Baltimore Ravens, I got at number 3. Mm-hmm. Now, the reason I put them there is I've been watching a little bit of film. They got this new receiver. I believe the name is Rashad Bateman.
Yes. I think he's going to be very good.
He was dusting Marlon Humphrey. So I think that he has a receiver 1 now. Marquise Brown is the little speedster that they got. The Deshaun Jackson.
The Deshaun Jackson to stretch the field.
So I feel like Lamar, if he can just tap in more to knowing when to run and when to pass, I think that they will be a great team, very hard to mess with. Number 2, I got Josh Allen and the Bills. Josh Allen, I believe, is one of the best quarterbacks coming up in this league. Like, I think eventually he'll be top 3, no doubt.
Yes.
Eventually at some point in his career.
Yes.
And with Stephon Diggs playing well, a lot of their defensive players are still amazing as well. They have one of the best secondaries in the league. Mm-hmm. So the Bills are definitely up there. Now, this is the interesting part. For my number 1 seed, I could be controversial. I could say a bunch of, crazy AFC West,
We know you do that a lot.
But I will be honest with myself, and I will put the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, there should be no.
Nah, but I still think that the Raiders are gonna win one of those games again this year. We are the only team that can beat the Kansas City Chiefs consistently, in my opinion. All right. Now the Kansas City Chiefs, I don't even think I need to talk about it. They got Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes had a great offense.
Yeah. Next up, I got the Browns.
Yes.
The Browns will definitely make it. Odell Beckham, I'm drafting him in fantasy. I'm saying that right now because I think that Odell Beckham's going to have a comeback year, and he's going to prove everybody wrong as well. Then I got to put the best team in the league, the Las Vegas Raiders. I think we're going to come in as a wild card. We almost made it last year, and we just lost a lot of games that we should have won. Mm-hmm. We started out 6-3, and there's no reason why we shouldn't have made the playoffs, but somehow we folded. Then I got the Los Angeles Chargers. Okay. Now, this is the reason for that. Justin Herbert won Rookie of the Year, and I think he's only going to continue to get better and better and better.
Of course.
I think they lost Melvin Ingram, but they still have so many key pieces on that D-line, Joey Bosa, that it's really not going to make that much of a difference for them. Derwin James is a great player, and I think they'll still do amazing. Now, my last spot, I got the Patriots.
Oh, I could already see the controversy in your own head right now.
Now.
Your better conscience is getting...
Now, listen. Cam Newton was my favorite player growing up. I love watching Cam Newton. and I think that he's gonna be amazing again.
I do think so.
So the Patriots, with all the moves that they made, and Bill Belichick still being one of the greatest coaches ever, I think they'll find a way to get into the playoffs. They won't make it far at all.
No.
But they'll definitely make the playoffs.
I think they'll make the playoffs. So you don't have...
Who am I missing? Is there anybody I don't think I'm missing anybody. Am I missing anybody?
I think we'll move on from that point. Either way, it's an interesting list. I do like it though. I do like it. For the AFC, of course, the Chiefs. Great offense, Patrick Mahomes, Clyde Edwards, and then a solid enough defense. Enough said. We know the Chiefs should again be the best, look like the best team in football. Number 2, I have the Ravens. I do think the Ravens are going to be a little better than the Bills. I think that addition of a number 1 receiver and the help that they have on the offensive line should be enough. The thing about Lamar Jackson is they want to force him to throw. Again, Lamar like Giannis, like in comparing leagues a little bit, stick to your game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Lamar's revolutionary. Mm-hmm. You know, they expect him to be that guy to throw it. And we saw that early in the season when the Ravens were really down. Mm-hmm. Early in the season. It's because Lamar forced himself to throw.
Yeah.
Do what you're good at, man. He's an all-time great runner. He's probably the best runner now. He's going to be, when it's all said and done, he's going to be better than Michael Vick as a running quarterback. You know? Stick to your game, much like how Giannis has to learn to don't let the media get to his head. Stick to his game. Yeah. Lamar's got to do the same. Stick to his game. And what that's going to do is it's going to open up the passing game. Mm-hmm. And Lamar is actually a good passer. He's not horrible.
I don't know why people just because we know why.
They like to hate on greatness.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
We know why. But I just feel like Lamar, don't underestimate your arm talent, and because he throws great balls. And if you watch it, they're not bad balls.
No, not at all.
But,
and
yeah,
Lamar, and the thing is too, is he doesn't even have to be like a great passer. With what he brings as a running quarterback, he already opens up that passing game so much because the linebackers are going to have to worry so much about him running that it's going to open up.
Come down. And
it's going to open up the passing game. So Lamar, just stick to your game. You're going to be fine, and that's what I think he's going to do. And I think the Ravens are going to be the 2 seed this year. I got 3. I got the Bills. You explained it perfectly. Solid defense. Josh Allen, of course, coming off a great year. He's going to do it again, probably. He's going to have another great season. Stephon Diggs, of course. So they have receivers. They have weapons. I do think they're going to be a solid contender. Number 4, I have the Titans, just like you. I think the Titans are great offensively. Now with Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, Ryan Tannehill playing at a great level like he should have been from the beginning. And then Derrick Henry. Of course, enough said.
King Henry.
The only reason I put him at 4, and the reason why they're not one of my contenders is because of the fact that I think, first of all, I think the South is going to be bad. Actually, I do want to mention, I was going to have the Colts here. But Carson Wentz getting hurt really...
I don't even know what they're going to... We're going to see what they do. I don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know what they're going to do for Carson Wentz injury. But either way, I think the Colts with Carson Wentz are a better team. But I think right now they don't have Carson Wentz. So I don't have them beating the Titans in the division.
Who's the quarterback? Jacoby Brissett? Is that who it is?
I think Brissett's still there. But they also picked up...
Eason?
Hudley. They picked up Hudley.
I don't know. So, yeah, we're going to see what they do. But if you guys
Brett
need
Hundley,
a quarterback, we got Marcus Mariota on the bench.
Exactly. The Colts need to make a move to really... Because I think Carson Wentz is going to have a bounce-back season on the Colts, but now he's just made of glass.
Now I think his career is over. I'm sorry.
Well,
I think his career is over.
I want to go that far, but I do feel bad because I do think Carson Wentz, when healthy, is a great quarterback. Either way, so that's what I don't think the South is going to be too great. There's not too much competition in the South. So I think the Titans are going to win that division. I don't think they're going to be great contenders though, because I think that defense is still holding them back.
They don't really got nobody on defense.
They don't have a great pass rush.
They lost Adoree' Jackson.
And they lost Adoree' Jackson. So I don't. They still have Kevin Byard, which is one of the better safeties in the league, but one of the better defensive safeties in the league. But still, that's like it. You know.
Yeah.
I think their defense is just too weak. Either way, going into 5, I got the Browns. I do think the Browns barely lose the division to the Ravens. Mm-hmm. But I think Baker Mayfield, coming off a great season, is going to have another one. Odell Beckham, if he has a fully healthy season, should prove why he is a top 10 receiver in the league again. Yep. People are starting to forget that. Jarvis Landry, of course, a great number 2 receiver. Then they had other guys who showed up. Jonathan Peoples-Jones, they had...
What's his name?
Jonathan Peoples-Jones. Peoples-Jones, yeah. You know, they had, and then Rashard Higgins, of course. So they had guys who stepped up when Odell went down. So I think they're only going to be better offensively. Of course, Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, enough said. Great offensive line. And then defensively, they got Myles Garrett, who's going to be a force. Who's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
He likes to hit people in the head with helmets.
Yes.
But
Denzel Ward at the cornerback position, who looks like he should be actually considered a top 10 cornerback in the league. They picked up some great defensive pieces. I think
they got Greg Newsome in the draft too, another corner.
So I think, again, they're going to be just a solid team. I do expect them to make a little bit of a run here in these playoffs. Maybe we'll go over that, where we go who's going to win each game as we get to the Super Bowl. 6, I have the Dolphins. I do think Tua's going to have a great comeback year. And I also think the Dolphins' defense is, they proved last year that they're very solid. It was just offensively that needed help. Now that they got Jalen Waddle out of the draft, I expect a big rise from Tua Tagovailoa. And I expect, not like a major increase, but remember, they barely missed the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Barely. So I expect them to make it this year. And I expect them to be very good, actually.
Wait, Dro, you are going to have
the New England Patriots. You're right, Travis. I am going to have them in there. Patriots are 7. It's Bill Belichick. Pretty much enough said. It's going to be a solid enough defense, and I just can't put Bill Belichick out of question again. Like, you have to say, with the moves that they made, I don't think it was like incredible moves, but I think it was good enough for them to make the playoffs. I do think they don't make a run though. Mm-hmm. But I could tell that you're a little upset. So we move on from that subject before you try to strangle me or something. Either way. So now if we're going through the playoffs, we have the Rams for me, I have Rams versus Vikings. I think the Rams win that one. I have Cowboys versus Bucks. I do think the Bucks win that. And then I have Niners versus Giants. I think the Niners win that one. So moving on into the next round, the Niners are going to be the lowest seed. So I have the Niners versus the Packers. I don't have the Niners winning as much as it hurts. I don't have them going into Lambeau Field and winning. It hurts me to say that, but the Packers are going to beat them. Oh. And I think the Rams at home take down the defending champions.
Whoa, wait.
I don't think the Bucks make it to the championship game.
Wait a minute. You think the Rams are going to the Super Bowl?
I didn't say they're going to the Super Bowl. I said they're going to the NFC Championship game. I think they beat the Bucks. So then it's going to be Packers versus Rams. And the Rams do go to the Super Bowl, baby. The Rams. Actually, I shouldn't be so excited. I really don't like the Rams that much. But either way.
The Rams are going to the Super Bowl?
I think the Rams are going to. It's going to be another season where the home team is going to host the Super Bowl. So I think I expect the Rams to be hosting the Super Bowl this year. I do expect them to go into Lambeau Field and win this year. I think the addition of Matthew Stafford, again, it's not like it's an incredible increase, but I think it's good enough. Not good enough is also kind of selling it short too. Matthew Stafford is a great quarterback in this league, and I think he's going to be amazing on the Rams. On the AFC side, I got Ravens Patriots. I got the Ravens winning that one. I have Bills Dolphins. Bills winning that one. Titans Browns. I have the Browns winning that one. And what I got now is we're gonna have this is gonna get interesting. Ravens versus Bills. I have the Ravens. Browns versus Chiefs, a rematch of last year's divisional round game. I have the Browns. I think with Odell Beckham Jr., he's gonna be the key offensively. Nick Chubb, I expect to still play great. They still have David Njoku at the tight end spot, Austin Hooper. I think the Browns, with the moves that they made defensively, are going to be good enough to make a playoff run, and I think they go into Kansas City this year and take them out.
This is your AFC Championship game?
My AFC Championship game is the Browns.
So you're going to have the Browns against the Rams?
The Ravens. Well, hold on.
I thought...
I have the Ravens going to the Super Bowl. I have the Ravens hosting the Browns and winning at home. So okay, I have Ravens.
We're actually pretty similar. We're actually pretty close. Because for me, I have the Ravens winning the Super Bowl.
Okay.
This is crazy. This is very crazy. Some people might think it's crazy. I don't think it's that crazy.
I think they have a good enough defense, too.
For me, their defense is amazing. Mm-hmm. And Lamar Jackson, the dynamic that he has, they have a great running back core, J.K. Dobbins, and a couple other dudes that are like a little bit of no-names.
Gus Edwards.
But
he's not a no-name, but
they get the job done, though.
No, exactly.
So I just feel like the Ravens are a great team. The Ravens are better than the Browns to me. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, he doesn't really have much help, I feel like. So if teams know how to eliminate him out of the game, I feel like
because they lost John Brown.
Yeah, so he doesn't have help anymore. Is Cole Beasley still on the team?
Cole Beasley's still on the team. He's a solid slot receiver, and they have a couple other guys who are solid. Solid.
They don't have a tight end. They don't have enough help around Stephon Diggs for me to consider them powerful enough to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Chiefs, they didn't get Mitchell Schwartz.
No.
Or Eric Fisher, I think his name is. So, and you've seen in the Super Bowl what happened with those tackles.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that in the playoffs, it's a completely different story. The D-line is going to be all over.
And I know we've been hyping up the Chiefs. We've been saying there should be no explanation why they're the 1 seed. But again, I kind of wanted to save it for right now. The Chiefs also aren't the greatest defense. And we saw how much they got exposed against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mm-hmm. With a quick passing game, so you don't let their guys get to the quarterback. I think the Chiefs are a little weaker than normal, than other years. Last year was a year that we could have obviously.
I thought they were going to win the Super Bowl last year.
But they showed weakness, and I think it's going to carry over a little bit next year. Not during the regular season, but I think during the playoffs, I think a team like the Browns is going to be better prepared to handle them.
Myles Garrett is going to be all over Patrick Mahomes.
I think so, and I think what they have defensively in the secondary now, and Odell Beckham, if you put those guys in that game against the Chiefs,
it's over.
And especially because the Chiefs got away with the helmet-to-helmet call that had that touchback, which should have never happened.
And on top of that, when you watch the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes got the ball to the receivers. Like, even though they're all over him, he got the ball to the receiver, and they didn't make the plays.
Credit to Tyreek Hill. He's a top 5 receiver in the league, but he does drop some wide open passes sometimes.
Yeah, it's like,
he can be inconsistent in brief moments, and it's just, I can't trust that. So, we have our Super Bowls. Well, who do you have in the NFC, actually?
NFC. So, the NFC-wise, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going against the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, I was like, I don't know. Aaron Rodgers could step up. But last time, when you rethink about it, they lost. They still have Kevin King there, don't they?
But they drafted a cornerback this year.
But the cornerback they drafted is Eric Stokes. And Eric Stokes is not too impressive to me. I don't feel like he's going to be that much of a difference than Kevin King. I don't feel like they can handle Jair Alexander can't do enough to handle all the Buccaneers' weapons that they have. So I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going again
to the Super Bowl.
But Lamar Jackson will take over that game, and the Ravens are the Super Bowl champions.
Okay. So you gave your Super Bowl prediction. I'm going to save mine till after we do, because now let's imagine it's the day before the Super Bowl. It's the NFL honors. Mm-hmm. I'll give mine first. My MVP is Matthew Stafford. I think, again, Matthew Stafford. Here's the thing. Matthew Stafford's been a MVP candidate before in his career on the Lions. Back in, I think, 2016 when he had a season where he made 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. Matthew Stafford, I think, is going to be very good on the Rams with those weapons, and especially with that O-line. So I expect an MVP season for Matthew Stafford, and that's the guy who I'm going to go with for my MVP. It's a little controversial, maybe.
A little?
Yeah, just a little. Don't downplay Stafford now, though, either. He is a great quarterback. So Stafford now, I expect him being off of the Lions now and having a bit more of a winning record to add to his MVP candidacy. I expect him to win it. Offensive Player of the Year, I got Stephon Diggs. I know what you said, he has no help, but I also think that's going to be a reason why Stephon Diggs is also going to erupt this year, because he's going to be their biggest option. He was last year too, but now Josh Allen he's going to have to rely on him a little more. I expect Diggs to offer that reliance to have a breakout year. He did lead the league in receiving yards last year. I expect him to do it again this year. Okay. I think he's going to have a great season. Defensive Player of the Year, we mentioned him earlier, Myles Garrett.
Okay.
I think he's going to here's the thing. Defensive Player of the Year should always go to Aaron Donald every year, but it's kind of the LeBron James effect.
Yeah, they you can't get it every year, so we gotta give it to somebody else.
Give him much higher expectations. I'm glad they gave it to him this past year. Again, everyone thinks T.J. Watt should have won, but no, I think Aaron Donald clearly.
Aaron Donald's way better than T.J. Watt.
Clearly should have won because They counted the sacks, but you got to remember T.J. Watt's more on the edge and Aaron Donald's on the
Aaron
inside.
Donald gets double teamed.
He gets triple teamed most plays, actually. And he still averages double-digit sacks as an interior lineman, which is insane to average. So, of course, Aaron Donald should probably get it every year, but they're going to give it to Myles Garrett this year, I believe. You could go ahead and give yours off.
Okay. So, my MVP, this is, just hear me out, okay? This is not biased.
Go ahead.
But I got Derek Carr. Now listen, okay? I'm going to give you these stats, and when you hear them, you're going to be like, oh, okay.
Go ahead.
So, last year, Raiders are known for having a bad defense. The year before that, known for having a bad defense. The year before that, known for having a bad defense. This all happened after Khalil Mack was traded. In 2016, when they went to the playoffs, Derek Carr was like number 3 in MVP candidates.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they had Khalil Mack, and they still had a solid defense. This is just a solid defense. They didn't have a great defense. And the reason why is because they have a great offense, but they just need to be able to win games down the stretch. That's the main reason why I feel like Derek Carr hasn't been known as MVP. He played better than Patrick Mahomes when we beat the Chiefs.
And then still lost to them.
And then lost to them in the second time. But this past year, they had the highest opponents' points per game at 30 points per game. And they still were 8-8. So Derek Carr manages the game enough to score 30 points half of the time. So I feel like if he could just have a solid defense, the defense did get a little better, and with the addition of Henry Ruggs maybe getting better with the full offseason, they have John Brown and Darren Waller obviously being who he's going to be. I feel like Derek Carr can still have an MVP season as long as the Raiders make the playoffs. If they have a great season, I feel like Derek Carr can be the MVP. Now,
you want to talk about bold.
I don't think I'm being bold. I also realize besides Darren Waller, the second most receiving yards on the Raiders last year was Hunter Renfrow. If Hunter Renfrow is your best receiver, it's...
So then I like Derek Carr. First of all, I think Derek Carr has been overhated or after his injury.
Yeah.
Because he was an MVP candidate that year. But he doesn't have the weapons that he had back in 2016.
Yeah, Michael Crabtree.
Michael Crabtree's still playing at a good level. And then Amari Cooper. Crabtree could be a solid number 2 receiver, when you have another guy. And Amari Cooper. So he doesn't have the weapons to put up an MVP type season. I get what you're saying. He's definitely going to have a big improvement. And probably they maybe they make the playoffs. It's definitely Gruden's last year to prove that they can.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
I said that. Because the Washington football team, they have the best defensive line in football, as I said earlier. But I think Chase Young is the biggest part of why they're so amazing. Mm-hmm. He attracts so much attention. And I feel like if he continues to have a great season, he's going to be the main reason why the Washington football team make the playoffs. Going to make the playoffs consistently, I think, because of him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the biggest reason that they would not make a big candidate for being in the playoffs is the offense. So I feel like if the offense can be consistent somewhat, Defensive Player of the Year can definitely go to Chase Young.
Yeah. Okay, and did you give your Offensive Player of the Year?
Offensive Player of the Year. I got Alvin Kamara.
I like that.
This is the reason why I chose him. So the Saints, they got rid of Drew Brees. They didn't get rid of him, but he retired. I don't know if they're going to have Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston. I'm assuming it's going to be Jameis Winston.
I assume Jameis. But I think they like Taysom too much as that.
So Michael Thomas last year, he already showed that he's not as consistent as we thought he was. He was
coming off an injury, so I do expect something.
But the reason why I say that as well is because Jameis Winston isn't going to throw the same balls that Drew Brees did. Mm-hmm. He's not going to get them as open as he used to be. And that's why Alvin Kamara will become so useful, and he'll be the main reason why the Saints win games. So I got to go with Alvin Kamara.
I like that. Okay. You already gave your Super Bowl winner. You got the Ravens beating the Bucks. For me, I had the Rams beating the Ravens at home. Again, I'm riding really high on this Ravens team. Of course, I'm riding high on the Ravens team, but I'm riding higher on the Rams team.
Yeah. Because
I think what they have defensively, being the best defense in football, I think they will show why they're the best defense in football again this year. And I think just the addition of Matthew Stafford, and you got to remember too, they got arguably the best coach in football. I think the best coach in football, Sean McVay.
Bill Belichick?
At the moment, though?
At the moment, okay, you could say Sean McVay.
Of course, Bill Belichick's the greatest coach of all time, but at the moment right now, I think Sean McVay is the best coach in football. So I think, those additions, I think they're going to be the best team in football this year. I'm riding really high, and I'm not man, as a Niner fan, it hurts to say, but I think the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl this year. And especially because
Aaron Donald deserves the Super Bowl.
And the window's closing for them.
Yeah.
They're
Jalen
giving
Ramsey and Aaron Donald's prime.
They're giving away their future for now. They haven't had a first round pick in years now, and they won't have one for 2 more years, trading for Matthew Stafford. Yeah, I think the Rams, man, are the best team in football. So watch out for the Rams this year. I do think they're gonna what they bring offensively with Matthew Stafford. I think he opens up a little more mobility as well. He's definitely more mobile than Goff, and on the run, he's an incredible thrower of the football. I do have the Rams beating the Ravens, but I'm glad actually we had pretty similar.
It's pretty close.
Pretty similar.
You're not too bad, Joe. Like slowly, you're showing me that you're not like
Travis.
dumb sometimes.
Travis, every day I hate you less and less.
Wow, I appreciate that. I really. I don't want to shake your hand though, but we could do a fist bump.
Do your outro.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you guys for watching Thank you guys for watching Heavily Contested, and
this is why I do the intros or the outros as well. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Heavily Contested. I want to, of course, thank my co-host Trevis, of course. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and hopefully staying for the entire episode. If you did, thank you very much. And we'll see you next week.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm feeling good. Russell Westbrook going back to his hood.